Calling this meeting of the Hawaii State LGBTQ+ Commission to order at 2:30 p.m. on Monday, September 7th. Welcome, everyone. We have our agenda out. Hopefully everyone's been able to take a look at that. We also have our board packet out, and there will be changes there we need to vote on. Let's do a call to order. Let's see, I'm here, Sandy Harjo Livingston. We have Vice Chair Michael Golojuch Jr.
Golojuch, and I'm here.
Oh, it's Golojuch.
Golojuch.
Oh, no Swedish. Okay, Golojuch. So he's here. Secretary Philip Steinbacher.
I'm here. I'm alone in the room.
Thank you, Phil. Finance Director Shanda Brack.
I'm here. I'm no longer finance director, but I'm still here.
All right, our commission members, Kathleen Odell.
Present, alone in the room.
Thank you, Kathleen. Next we have Joe Tolbe.
Joe Tolbe here, alone in the room.
Thank you, Joe. And next we have Richard Velasquez. Not present. And Rocco Vick.
Yes, I am here. Nobody else is in the room with me.
Thank you, Rocco. All right, next we have our ex-officio members. We have Superintendent of Education designee Beth. Sorry, Schimmelfennig. Okay. Next, we have President of the University of Hawaii System designee Dr. Camaron Miyamoto. Thank you, Cameron. Next, we have Director of Labor and Industrial Relations designee David Rodriguez. Let's see. Next, we have Director of Human Resources Development designee Signe Nakamura Rose. Director of Human Services designee Jonathan Kaua.
Chair, may I interrupt you real quick?
Yes.
So I'm taking minutes today because Devin's not here, and so I'm not in the room you're in. I'm missing a lot of the last 2 or 3 people I can't tell whether they are present or not. So can we?
They were not. They're not.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, I'm not catching that. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, there's already. John.
Hello, John Kimura is here.
Okay, John Kimura is here.
Thank you.
Is David or Stephen?
David just joined.
Okay. All
David
right.
is present.
Director of Labor Relations, Industrial Relations, Labor and Industrial Relations, designee David Rodriguez.
Here.
Thank you. And then Director of Health designee Thaddeus Pham.
Tim is
I'm
Tim's still here.
Tim McCormick sitting in for Thaddeus on behalf of Dr. Kenny Fink.
Okay, you got that, Philip? It's Tim McCormick. All right, we have a guest speaker here today. We have Brad Lum. Would you like to go ahead and take? You have about 4 minutes.
Sure. So hi, aloha. I am Kumu Brad Lum, and I grew up in Honolulu. Studied at the University of Hawaii with a degree in communications and elementary teaching before moving to San Francisco and continue building my life as a teacher of Hawaiian culture. My leadership roles was in the civil rights within the Hawaiian community, and I became the first kumu and chanter to publicly speak passionately in favor of Hawaii civil unions. My activism extended beyond testimony, and I also organized the first candlelight vigil against discrimination at the state capitol. I returned to Honolulu in 1995 to care for my parents and became a mentor and trailblazer in liberation and in conclusion with the Native Hawaiian culture. I taught at the elementary level from 1995 to 2019, where I retired. I'm also living in my genealogy, which is my mokuhauhau. And I teach a way to honor our ancestors, places, and events, keeping history alive and in body and voice. I help my students, especially my hula students, embody ancestral knowledge, ikekupuna. Also preserves that, keep that deep ceremony, chanting oli upon the spiritual forces, which is constantly conflicting us today. And I really believe in chanting, and the more you chant, the better things will come. So in conclusion, I stand in the powerful embodiment of aloha, resiliency, and accountability, honoring cultural traditions while courageously forging new pathways for inclusion and expression.
Next we have Carl Fritz, who is a community organizer. And next we have Keanu Young, who is education for the public access room. He's here to present information primarily to the commissioners so that we can understand the resources that we have in the public access room as we are working on our bills throughout this next year.
Good afternoon, everybody. Keanu Young, Public Access Room. The Public Access Room Coordinator, Andy Langhurst, will be giving today's presentation. And she has a PowerPoint slide, so hopefully she has access to put her slide up.
I gave her, she should have access now.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Let me get this little bar off here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. You can see the screen without the notes. Okay, awesome.
Oh, we see the notes. We see the
Oh.
notes.
Okay. Well, the notes will be fine rather than try to figure out why that's happening. So I'm Andy, and you just saw Keanu from the Public Access Room in the Hawaii State Capitol. We just have a couple slides that if you're not familiar with the Public Access Room, we wanted to make you aware of who we are and what we do. So there we are. The Public Access Room is a room that's free for the public to use to get involved in the legislative process. So we provide a workspace.
Hi, Commissioners. This is AG Erin Lau. I'm confused as to whether these are the presentation, or if we skipped ahead to the presentation part of the meeting, or if we are still in the just, going around taking attendance part.
We have moved to the guest speakers.
You skipped over member shares, concerns, and reports.
Okay.
Yep.
Like you skipped over and you're going back, or you just you're done?
That it says comment or receive testimony. Then it says member shares and concerns after that. So member shares and concerns is under 3.
Yes, it's just everyone identified.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I totally misunderstood that. Okay, so we have, we're gonna come right back to you, Keanu. Is that cool? All right, come back.
Yeah, as long as we're not on the meeting for a long time.
No, you're not. We're just gonna move through this little bit right here.
Okay.
Okay, so we got comment on receipt of written testimony.
There were 2 pieces of late testimony that were updated to the board packet. Everybody received around 2 o'clock today.
Perfect. All right, so we have that distribution and review. Next, we have member shares, concerns, and reports. Commissioners. I'll go first, honestly. So Sandy Harjo Livingston, lots of concerns, especially now that we have an administration that can pretty much do immigration raids anywhere and everywhere. I would imagine trans people are probably the next on the list along with that. So I have very deep concerns about what we're going to do to protect our communities, especially after Hawaii. So I am hoping that as a community, we can come together and protect one another and let divisions fall to the side so that we can make it through this. All right, next, Michael.
Besides what's in the board packet, one of my concerns is about making sure we get our agenda up in time. We almost didn't do it for this meeting, so it's gonna be my recommendation to the chair that the agendas go up on that Friday instead of the Tuesday.
Okay.
And that way, that gives the commissioners all weekend to put things together for the board packets. And for those of you who did not see the email from Devin, once we pass that deadline on Wednesday for the board packets, we cannot update it except to add the testimony that comes in from the general public. So if you do not meet the deadline of 10 a.m. on Wednesday, your stuff will not make it because we cannot expect Devin to go back and redo the board packets after that. She does have other responsibilities because she's doing us a favor by helping us out in this time period. So that Friday is my recommendation. We can always amend the agenda so something can come up over the weekend up until the deadline of Tuesday at 2:30.
Okay, so on that Friday.
Or have that agenda actually up, so it gives the commissioners over the weekend the time to put together stuff for the board packets. And maybe catch anything, but we should only be amending the agenda on an emergency basis, not just because somebody, whatever, willy-nilly. So there's that. I am happy to announce that I've been selected to be one of the inaugural cohort for the LGBTQ National Task Force organizing cohort. We start next week, Sunday. It's 3 Sundays in a row, and it's all via Zoom. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And other than that, yeah, the other concerns we'll bring up later, but it's just, yeah, it's a shit show out there, everybody. Excuse my French.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Philip Steinbacher.
I don't really have anything to share. I would like to request that, can we take that display off the screen until we get there? So I'm trying to see who's doing stuff, and it'd be great if we could go, but thank you very much. That's all.
Okay, next we have Shanda Brack.
Thank you. I have several things, one of which the Hawaii Gender Echo and Gender Journeys Day expresses their deep gratitude to the commission for our support of the event. To update you all, there were 106 participants, including 45 healthcare providers, 27 family members, 13 KP, and 21 educators. The participants came from Hawaii, Oahu, Hawaii, Maui, and Molokai, so good representation. I have a safety concern. It was suggested in our last meeting to add our gender identity and sexual orientation to the website. I have safety concerns about that and recommend we each consider if that's the best way for us to support our community in the current political climate. I am choosing not to include my information. I'm really not closeted, as everybody probably knows, but still. Someone expressed concern to me that this may actually have the opposite effect. It may lead to some portions of our community feeling excluded if they don't see themselves perfectly represented among us, which I think is a good concern. And then I have a concern about process. I am committing to working harder to actually discuss issues in front of us before voting. When meetings follow Robert's Rules of Orders, discussion usually happens before an issue is called for a vote. We have only rarely been doing that. I take responsibility for not being comfortable enough with our process to question us doing that and to speak up until the last meeting. So I encourage us to actively seek discussion prior to calling for it or seconding a motion for a vote. If we do not support an issue, we don't have to be nice and second the motion to vote. And we can continue the discussion until a vote is appropriate.
Next we have Rocco.
Hi, sorry, is my volume working? I wanted to see if everybody could check in with me for budget information. I would like to take a little bit more time to make sure I understand what was in the last fiscal year and what we're moving forward with for this particular one. Thank you, Shanda, for getting me all of the records from the last year. But if everybody could possibly send me an email on anything that's coming up for travel for these upcoming prides, that would be really helpful. I could get a better snapshot together for next month.
Next, we have Kathleen Odell.
No concerns at this time, just looking forward to supporting Rocco and Kona Pride next weekend. Thank you.
Next, we have Joe Tolbe.
I have a film screening of a documentary here about transgender teenager in China. And it's an award-winning documentary that we're going to have here on Monday, September 22nd at the UH campus here, in case anybody would like to fly over for it. Lance Collins, who is an out judge here and sits on the bench here, is going to be our narrator for that. I don't know how to say the name of the documentary, but it's spelled Xiaodi. So anybody who's on right now with us, know anything about Chinese or how to pronounce that word, but that's the documentary about transgender China. A 17-year-old teenager. And apparently in China, it's an ongoing common thing there for them to go through conversion therapy. No, that's all I have. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Joe. All right, and Rick is not here.
Rick is here.
Oh, did he come?
Yeah.
All right, Rick Velasquez, you're next.
I'm sorry, I don't have the dates in front of me, just 2 announcements, maybe 3 announcements. One is that there's going to be a rainbow prom being put on by HHHRC. Somebody there might, I don't have the dates in front of me. There's also the Hawaii Youth Day at the legislature coming up. And everyone's welcome. I would love to see if there was any way youth in Hawaii, our community's youth come and participate. They come, they spend the day at the State House, they meet legislatures, they kind of get a quick and dirty, presentation on how a bill becomes laws, what they can do. So both of those are good things. Also wanted to do a shout out to Shanda, who's taken the lead in organizing a SAGE table. I know Camaron and Thad are also helping, and I'm helping. SAGE table is where we try to get youth and Kapuna together for storytelling, for talking and providing support and social. Mahalo, thanks, that's it.
Rick. Next, we have our ex-officio members. Let's see, Beth Schimmelfennig.
Yes, I'm here. Did you? I don't have a report.
Okay, thank you. Next we have, Camaron.
Yes, with the University of Hawaii, we're very happy to be part of this commission and look forward to working hard to ensure the well-being of all students in the university system, and including those who are LGBTQ. If you have any concerns regarding issues with the university system, please feel free to reach out to me or the president directly.
All right, next we have David Rodriguez with the Labor and Relations Department. Labor and Relations Department.
Thank you. David Rodriguez with Department of Labor Industrial Relations. I just wanted to provide an update to SCR 145, which was on the agenda last month. That's the family leave resolution to do it. Anyway, what occurred, the update I wanted to provide you was that the legislature did not actually provide the 1.5 we requested to conduct a legal analysis and actuarial study, as well as for independent consultants and facilitation. And so about 2 weeks ago, sometime, the Director of Labor, Jay Butai, met with Representative Sayama, and I guess informed them that we would not proceed with the working group to explore paid family leave. And what the outcome was that Representative Sayama would now lead this effort. I'm not sure if he's tied into SCR 145, but he will be leading the this effort to, study paid family leave. And so going further, if you wish membership on that board, or even if a board exists, I don't know how Rep. Sayama is going to lead this effort, but it should be directed to him. End of report.
Next, we have, let's see, Director Signe Nakamura Dereza with the Human Resources Development. Next, we have Jonathan Kimura, who's the Director of Human Resources. Human Services, sorry.
Human Services. Aloha, everyone. No updates at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have that, Tim is sitting in for Thaddeus Pham for the Health Department of Health. Tim, do you have any?
Yes, thank you. So first of all, Rainbow Pride is on October 10th. That came up earlier. And then we just wanted to announce that the Department of Health for the 3rd year in a row will have a contingent in the Honolulu Pride Parade. And DOH participates in the parade to support our LGBTQ staff, family members, the community, and really because our mission is to ensure that everybody in Hawaii has the equitable opportunity to achieve health. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen. All right, next we have the Finance Director's report. Rocco?
Oh, sorry. I'm having trouble with my computer today. I am requesting that I can get a hold of some things from everybody before I do this. So next month, I would like to have a better prepared report. I'm having a hard time seeing what was from last fiscal year to what we have now, what we're budgeting for this year. So if anybody has upcoming travel for Kona Pride and Oahu Pride specifically, those details would really help me compile that information.
Thank you, Rocco. And any public testimony?
I'm Stephen Taylor, and I have 4 children myself and 8 grandchildren. 3 of my kids are military veterans, and my son got injured in Afghanistan, a traumatic brain injury. And I'm concerned about becoming a sanctuary state. I myself, as a substitute teacher, I tell kids that it's not so easy for a boy to become a girl, and you can't reverse it either. And I don't tell this to the kids, but it is true that transgender people have 7 times the suicide rate than people who don't transgender. And so to invite that to our state, I think is not good, because one thing you know when you raise kids is that if anything else, kids change. They change their mind. One day, a little boy might wear a dress. 2 days later, he's taking out a stick to swing it into his friends. People change their minds. Children at that age do not know their minds. And you cannot reverse what you've done biologically. And so it is not a, I think it's not a healthy aloha for Hawaii. We're the aloha state. Parents should be totally involved, and I don't think children should have that option until they're at least 21.
Thanks for that misinformation. All right, any other? Yes.
My name is Jay Matt, and I'm here for 3 reasons. First and foremost, I'm the local Hawaiian from this place. I'm here in person. And I'm a reporter working in the national media who's just back in 3 weeks reporting on ICE and ICE's actions in Los Angeles. And I'm here essentially to raise awareness. We're often here having very blissfully isolated from everything in our Pacific isolation. Whatever you understand of what is going on in Los Angeles, I can tell you is likely quite a bit worse than we have yet. And I say this from firsthand experience and exposure. there are happening regular violations of the rule of law occurring at the hands of agents of the administration spanning those detaining migrants and those working in the administrative court system, immigration court. The detention happening in the streets of LA and businesses of LA are often occurring in violation of.
All right, sorry, we only have 1 minute. I apologize, but we will be coming back to other. All right,
Online, Tara.
all right, Tara.
Hello, my kako, Tara Malia. I actually just have a point of inquiry. This is the budget discussion, right? This is the item that we're on. Nope.
No.
Is that one coming up?
No, we don't have a budget item on the agenda. This is just general public testimony.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just speak to that. I just wanted to just gain some clarity. Just on the previous meeting that we were at, it was stated that the LGBTQ Commission is not government funded. However, since the commission operates under the Department of Human Services and the commissioner may be reimbursed for expenses, that would indicate taxpayer resources are involved. I just wanted for clarity in this discussion, can the administration or the leaders confirm whether the commission's operations and reimbursements are funded through DHS or any other state budget line? I just wanted to get clarity around that.
So, well, we do get our reimbursements from the state. But all of us but commissioners are volunteers, so we're not paid.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted clarity around that because that seemed to be some misinformation. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but I think that's what was received from the general public. But I do appreciate you clarifying that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's just like any other commission for the state. There's no difference. All right,
Thank you.
next.
Madam Chair, I was wondering, are we just general testimony on?
Yes.
I have something that I want to say under D.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Wilson. I'm representing the Hawaii Project, and this is my first time attending in person, but I'm hearing comments at all of the meetings that seem not to be rooted in what the purpose of this commission is. The stated purpose of this commission is to advance equity, inclusion, opportunity for the Maui LGBTQIA+ MVP staff community, connecting their and our voices in the Hawaii state government, serving as a vehicle for collaboration, advocacy, and education to promote public awareness, policy change to ensure equal rights. I want to strongly suggest that people who have a different agenda, one that is rooted in bigotry, violence, and oppression, form a commission for the purposes that they want to advocate. This room, this space is not for those purposes. So maybe over time, we as a commission and community could struggle
Thank you, Joe.
on these issues together. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
Going once, going twice.
Oh, yes.
I just wanted to say that I think I was, this gentleman, about, his response to that. I just responded because I feel like, when you make us a sanctuary city, you're gonna encourage parents that maybe, that it occurred, and then they'll be coming here, and then they might say, my boy has, tendencies, and we need to change it to the girl. So I think that's a good thing for our state to be known. I think that's great. Somebody who's done and really gonna change. I just feel like that's everything that brings to, and also I don't feel like that children they do change. We're not changing.
Thank you for that misguided information. All right, anybody else?
Yes, I do. Segue to Joe Wilson's comment. This commission, I really believe, is a safe place for all of us to voice our concerns. And when we have outside people telling us what to do or how to handle this commission. I don't, and totally agree with you, Joe. I really like what you just said, because of that safe place, because of where we come from, I think that's why this commission started. And if you want to make another commission, go right ahead, you can, but not at this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. All right, anyone else? All right, going next. Okay, next, we're going to pick up with our guest speakers. Okay, we're going to go back to our public access room. Guest speakers, thank you, Andy and Keanu, for your patience.
You're welcome. I'm gonna pass it back on to Andy.
All right. So as I was saying, this is the public access room. The QR code on the screen will take you to our website. We are nonpartisan, so we don't focus as much on the policy, but we focus on what the process is. We do have a room on the 4th floor of the Capitol where we have table space. We have very strong air conditioning. We have computers, internet access, a lot of handouts, and we're just generally looking forward to seeing people and helping you any way we can. I just have a few slides and I'll zoom through a couple of them pretty quickly. Let's see. So we do have a YouTube channel. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. We have a Facebook and an Instagram account. During the interim, which we're in right now, where the legislators are not meeting in session, our social media is much quieter than it is during the mid-January to early May timeframe. But we do try to remind people of what they could be thinking about with the legislative session. So we encourage you to consider following us or checking in from time to time. This is just a picture of what our YouTube page looks like. We post the videos of workshops that we've done in the past. For example, we did one in May on using the interim this time right now. And then when the session was still happening, we had one on what are conference committees, what's happening in conference committees, following the budget. Oh, it's not moving. Thank you. Is that okay? Thanks, Keanu. This is what the YouTube channel page looks like. So as I mentioned, using the interim conference committees, following the state budget, using the website. So even if you're not able to attend one of our workshops, or you're curious to find out information when we don't have one scheduled, you can go back and look. Again, this QR code goes to our website, lrb.hawaii.gov/par for public access room. And we have a whole bunch of different information on this page. We have a Learn tab, Engage, Persist. On the Learn tab, we have all sorts of different information about, how do you follow a bill's journey, what types of measures are, if you're trying to figure out what's the difference between a bill and a resolution, what are happening at committees or public hearings, what happens on the floor. And so even if you know some things already, there might be information here that you could learn something about. On the Engage tab, this could be maybe more useful for people who haven't gotten involved in the legislative process. So finding out, how do you use the legislature's Find Your Legislature tool to look up your address, to find out who represents the area where you live, or how to sign up for an account, which you need to do if you want to provide testimony, to be able to submit your testimony through the account, or signing up for hearing notices. And then we also have, we try to make newsletters available. Again, this is usually a little bit more busy during session. And then since we are in the interim, just for those who haven't been involved in the past, the interim is a great time to be thinking about what worked and what didn't work during the last session and trying to sketch out a game plan for the upcoming session, and then networking with people that you might be able to collaborate with. So thinking about setting up meetings with legislators or their staff that sit on relevant committees to the topics you're interested in, creating a to-do list, or who are you going to talk with. Those are all ideas you could be thinking about right now. If you were debriefing, as I mentioned, what worked well and what didn't work well, last year, 2025, was the first year of a 2-year biennium. The legislature works on a biennial cycle. So bills that didn't succeed in the first year, that died at some point, do have the opportunity to come alive again in the second year. And so people will be thinking right now, you know, is it better to try to start up a bill that's already made it partway through the process last year? Or do we want to think about working with the legislator and asking to have a bill reintroduced, maybe addressing any concerns that came up last year to make a new bill more palatable, or have a better chance of success, whatever the issues may be. And that's where talking to a legislator and their staff can be really useful. So what could be done differently in the future? Do you need more research information? Do you want to see what other states have done? Things like that. And so working with the legislators, just thinking about how to stay connected. Are you communicating by email, by phone? Are you checking in regularly? Are you going in person? It does seem like a lot of the legislators aren't in the building every day, especially the ones that may live on the neighbor islands. But I think a lot of them also are checking their email very often, or able to get their voicemails if they aren't able to answer the phone. And so trying to figure out how best to communicate is good right now. And then when you're thinking about requesting a bill, we usually tell people, you know, you don't want to just call up a legislator and say, this doesn't work, find a way to fix it. But thinking about what would make your issue better. How should I approach the legislators? What kind of information do I need to provide? And so you can be thinking about that. This is the time right now to be contacting legislators about bills, whether you're introducing a brand new bill or trying to move something that's been introduced in the past forward in a different way. The public access room has this example of a one-page leave behind document, because if you stop to think that a lot of people are contacting the legislators with a lot of different ideas, giving them something or giving their staff something to jog their memory after the fact of what you're asking for. So again, outlining what is the background, what are you proposing the solution be? Are you asking for action? Are you asking for them to introduce a bill on your behalf? Or are you just asking for their support? Something like that could be useful to you. And then, as I mentioned, thinking about how you want to communicate, how you want to be meeting. If you are meeting, we often encourage people to try to keep a group small. Don't show up with people that you didn't give them a heads up about. You know, they may have a small space, or they may not have a lot of time, or just generally providing the courtesy to the office of what to expect if you come to visit in person. And then just to wrap up, early October. So now is a good time to be asking for new bills, communicating with legislators about things you're concerned about. Early October is when I think the departments will be submitting their budget requests to the Department of Budget and Finance for review, at least based on previous years. And then really trying to contact legislators with new ideas or requests for bills before Thanksgiving is important, because if you think about all the legislators and they're all contacting drafting agencies to get the bills written up and put in the right format, if people wait until December, if everybody waited till December, there's just not enough time to do that. So trying to start early is important. Based on past years, we would expect that sometime in December, the grant and aid applications would be released, and that is a page on the capital.hawaii.gov website. We can help you find that if you want to see where it will be. I would imagine that late December, the session calendar will be released for the 2026 legislative session, although we already know that it will always start on the third Wednesday in January, because that's written into the Hawaii State Constitution. And then we imagine, based on past years, that the bill introduction cutoff date may be January 30th. So again, here's our contact information. Keanu and I are happy to answer any questions you have, but even if you don't have questions now, we invite you to come send us an email or give us a call or stop in, and we're happy to talk to you.
Thank you, Kiana and Andy, and I encourage each commissioner to take them up on their offer. They're incredibly helpful.
I'll go quick. Andy, do you guys still have your email listserv that people can sign up to get on your email list?
Yeah, it's It's mostly newsletters now, but yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. So I can go, let me see if I can get that page to show back up again.
I recommend everybody signing up for that because they also, besides the newsletters, in the newsletters, you'll have their training schedules that you guys will do before the legislative session. Because this is a great opportunity to ask these questions now so you can learn the process, so you're not learning it in January. It's the things. And then
Exactly.
using the YouTube channel as well. You can't make one of their training sessions. That to go, you can use their YouTube, but so, yeah, so. You sign up for their newsletters, get that automatically emailed to you.
Yeah, and the QR code on this slide will go to our newsletter sign up page. And Michael's exactly right. We usually in January we'll do a overview of the legislative process, how to use the website, and how does the calendar work. So you can look forward to those in January, and we'll announce them via the newsletter or as well as our social media.
Thank you, Andy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having this, and this is wonderful. Is this slideshow available to us? Did you say that?
I can put it on the public access room side website, or I can send it to you, Sandy. Whatever makes. Send it to you?
Yeah, you can send it to me.
Okay, I'll do that.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, or I can look. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, okay, moving on, we got our ongoing business and updates. First, update on progress for hiring the administrative assistant 2 position. From what I understand, we had how many? Like 3 or 4?
There was a list was sent out. They called everybody, nobody on the list wanted to be interviewed. Or they basically took another job someplace else. So we desperately need everybody to put that out there to everybody with the understanding that, that even if they apply for that position, doesn't mean they're automatically going to be interviewed for this job because it goes into the pool. So, but this is the administrative assistant that we share with the commission on the status, or the other commission.
All right. And as we learned last time, there's a huge pool, so they may not even come to our commission, they can with some other jobs to get. Okay, public testimony on our administrative assistant position. All right. Number 2, update on commission legislative priorities for the 2025 legislative session. Commission's 2025 legislative tracker. Update on request for commission representation from DLIR, DHR.
Which we already got that update from David. So now we have to send the request to Representative Sayama. So this will. So we'll probably, another request will have to go to Representative Sayama. And the other thing on this list was the SR that would have asked it was a SR asking the LRB to do a review of HRSs for heteronormative things, since it was only a Senate resolution, not a concurrent resolution. I did get confirmation from the Legislative Reference Bureau. They will not be doing that at this time. So we have to get a concurrent resolution on that to get them to do that. So that's something for you all to think about when we get to the legislative priority session. So.
Right. Public testimony on our legislative priorities. Request for 2020, that was 2025. All right, next is update on commission's website.
If there's anything you guys want it updated, you need to send it to me, nobody else. I'm the one, because we only have, instead of having everybody email Sean, to respond to Shanda's thing about putting the sexual orientation and gender identity. The idea came from one of the many national phone calls I've been on over the last 2 months. That this used to be the standard back in the 90s. It sort of fell out in the aughts. But as we sit here, we're seeing our community erased at the federal level, everything we turn around. And so I think it does send a message. Again, we're not forcing anybody. I can't force anybody to do it. We can't force people to read the agendas. We can't force people to read the board packets. we're not gonna force anybody to do this. It's just something that if somebody wants to do. So I already have five commissioners that have given me their information, and that will be in our next update to Sean to add that to show. Yeah, as part of this more robust idea that. Yeah, and I think it will show that we definitely do need a better job of working on the diversity of this commission. And hopefully we'll be able to address that if we, under our legislative priorities, when we look at expanding the commission. So that, as one of those, was one of our priorities in 2020. Yeah.
Public testimony on the commission website. Yes.
I think that's from my experience recording in Los Angeles. I would say that this term very legitimately seen as a one-time history where doing things that might ordinarily seem like standing down or obeying plans are quite really things that are important for individual migrant Latino community in Los Angeles voluntarily and necessarily, and believe it likely to be necessary as well, and very short of that.
All right, next is update on letter to the governor requesting executive order for the governor green to turn Hawaii into a sanctuary state for gender affirming care and protecting parents' rights.
Point of order, Sandy, before we go further. Yes. I'm sorry, I thought I was following the commission and I thought we were going to hear from Kumu Brad. Is that not on the agenda? Did I read that wrong?
We did.
Oh.
It was out of order.
Yeah, that was fine.
Oh, we have, Linda has her hand raised. Linda, do you want to, speak to the last agenda item or the current agenda item?
Okay, so Brad was out of, I'm sorry, I came in late. That's my bad. Sorry, thank
you. Linda.
Sorry. She's not at all.
Oh, well, before we get to public testimony on that, well, unless you, Linda, did you want to speak on the website? You couldn't hear it. You have to unmute yourself, Linda.
Sorry, I'm for the I want to testify about the sanctuary state.
We're not to that just yet. You're gonna have to wait a minute. All right, is there any testimony on the website? No, okay. All right, now we're to gender affirming care. Now that we have that. Oh, all right. So gender affirming care and parental protection executive order. We need public testimony. All right.
Before we get to that, the actual update is that we have not received anything from the governor, but he has been traveling. So
yeah. Yes.
I think that we look at history in Hawaii about 20, maybe 30 years ago now. The people of the state of Hawaii voted on marriage between one man and one woman, and 2-1 actually Hawaii voted against same-sex marriage, and that they
this
voted.
Is about gender affirming care.
Well, I'm saying,
same-sex marriage.
I know I'm tying it in.
That's great, but I need for you to make gender affirming care.
Okay, well, what I wanted to say was that I think with such an important issue as this, I think we should allow the people of Hawaii to vote, and whatever the people of Hawaii vote for, if they want to have gender affirming care and turn this into a sanctuary state, then let the people vote. Don't let the governor just make an executive order for everybody. There's a lot of people here that in Hawaii, I would say more than half, that wouldn't want this. I would say more than that. I think.
Time. Next person, please. Yes.
Aloha, my name is Caroline, and Madam Chair and the Commission board members, thank you for the opportunity to speak. While I have deep respect for every individual and their right to live with dignity, I do not support making Hawaii a sanctuary state for gender affirming care and gender affirming surgery. My concern is not rooted in hate or discrimination, but in the responsibility we have to protect our children, safeguard our taxpayer resources, and ensure that medical decisions of this magnitude are handled carefully within families, not by government policy. In regards to gender affirming surgery, these are life-altering procedures, and I believe Hawaii should not encourage minors to make irreversible choices that they may later regret. We also must consider the burden of already strained healthcare system if our islands become a national.
Time, next person, please. Who's next?
Here.
Yes, go right ahead.
Please state your name before you speak. Thank you.
My name is Alice Abelanida, and I'm strongly opposed to this proposal to have the governor sign an executive order. The people spoke loud and clear against this bill, and it was put down, it was stopped, and now it's people are trying to resurrect it. And contrary to popular belief, the governor is not the king and he's not a dictator. He does not have the right to just sign executive order after executive order on it. And the fact that you people are doing this after the public already spoke and got this bill shot down is very disturbing. And we've been here before, you've heard us speak. You know what? This is not about health, it's about mental health. These kids, if you do gender affirming surgery on them, you're castrating them, you're mutilating them for life. They're children, you know, teenagers do stupid stuff and then they regret it later on.
Time, next person. Thank you for that incorrect information.
Me, I'm next.
It's not very. Go right ahead.
My name is James, and I know you guys always say time, but the last time I videoed, it was on 48 seconds, so better get this one right. So I call this the sanctuary/kidnapping bill. There's no parental consent. You see, when a kid goes on a field trip in school, they need a parental consent. The school get in trouble if they take the kid. If I took any of your kid to Disneyland without your parental consent, is that kidnapping? That's kidnapping. So right now, here's another thing. What if I took my friend's kids to the movies without his consent, her consent, even though she's my friend? That's wrong. So right now, anyone who think this is normal is a sick individual. Yeah, that's what it is. This penal commission shouldn't even exist. We shouldn't even have this commission. Who voted for this commission? All right. This is unnecessary and should be investigated. All this is a waste of money because none of this will solve any problems in Hawaii. What is the top problem right now? What is the top problem? This is nothing. It should be on the bottom. So we have to battle this every year. Every time we have these bills that we
Time, you need to stop. Your time is up.
No, but
No,
let me do
your
this
time is
one
up.
last
You
step.
need to
You know,
stop.
we
No,
always have the
your
majority.
time
We
is
always
up. You do
majority.
not get to
And you
speak
guys
anymore.
always go against us. That's all I wanted to say.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. You guys took 48 seconds the last
Hi,
time.
my name is Josh. I'm a resident of Oahu. I'm here because I care about the future of trans youth in Hawaii. Gender affirming care is life-saving. It's supported by every major medical organization, including pediatricians and mental health experts. The care reduces depression and suicide. It's not rushed, it's thoughtful, and it involves parents, doctors, and youth themselves. Trans kids are not political pawns. They are not part of our community, and they deserve to grow up in a safe and loved environment. Please don't take away the support they need to survive. And quit spreading lies and hatred about mutilation. There are no children in the entire country being mutilated by any doctor. And if you can find any sort of clue or evidence of that, I'd love to see it. But that doctor would lose their license because they're not allowed to do that. So quit saying that. No one is surgically mutilating people under the age of 18. Learn, educate yourself, and get a freaking grip.
What about kidnapping?
Get
No,
a grip.
you do not have- Or you cannot speak. Next.
For videos.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, my name is Bernal, but son Josh, there are videos of kids that.
Please direct your comments to the chair.
Yes, you're not supposed to direct it to other people.
But I'm just seeing that
No.
there are videos on YouTube and on YouTube that show people that have that kind of gender surgeries that either regret it or some have actually committed suicide because of it, because they did it when they were young and not they didn't know, and they're, and I think that it's not right that this commission exists because Josh Green appointed you guys as the commission. Now you're sending it back to him saying, oh, I really want this. You designed this thing. I mean, it's just like the king saying, I'm gonna meet committee so that I can have my way, so that they can determine this stuff.
Okay, your time is up, and I'm sure AI can generate any kind of video. Next, please. Next, please.
That's right.
Next, please. You do not have the floor.
Okay.
Next, please.
You want to go down the road?
Yeah, sounds good.
Jamie, you're up.
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Aloha, my name is Jamie Detweiler. I'm a proud mom, grandmother, Kanaka Maoli, born and raised in Hawaii, and a concerned citizen. I'm testifying in strong opposition to this commission's proposed letter to Governor Green, asking him to create an executive order for gender affirming care for minors in Hawaii and minors from the continent for the following reasons. One, this particular executive order circumvents the legislative process. SB 1150 died in committee during the 2025 legislative session. If you want to pursue gender affirming care for minors again, introduce a new bill in the 2026 session. Two, chemical and surgical treatment is dangerous for children. Chemical castration for minors, such as the use of Lupron injections, are used on convicted sex offenders. This is a very strong drug. The treatment is painful and irreversible. Adolescent women are suffering.
Okay, Linda, you're next.
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think the root problem here is that people just want to be loved, recognized, and acknowledged. We all want to be valued, accepted, and feel worthy. I've been teaching children for 41 years, and it's not hard to love others and to encourage them in their strengths and unique gifts. Our cerebral cortex is not fully developed until we're 25. So for such an important, irreversible decision, why not let them wait until they're an adult? What's the hurry? So while people are still growing and maturing, let's love them and help them to grow in their strengths that have nothing to do with their gender. Like if they're a good artist, a writer, scientist, good with technology. There's so many ways we can edify our youth without medically touching their gender. I pray that you won't rush this process. Thank you for letting me share today, and I pray that we do not do this.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you,
Next.
Linda. Cheryl, you're next.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple things here. First of all, why is it so important for you, and I'm going to say this, to mutilate children? Why can't you wait until they're of age? You know, when kids are younger and they say to their parents they want to play football, and you go out and you buy all that equipment for them and you sign them up, you spend hundreds of dollars, which is a lot for some people, and then they change their minds. This is exactly what happens to the youth that go through this kind of a period in their life where they're confused. You don't do this by surgically altering who they are. That's pretty much what I have to say. But one more thing that's really important. You, Madam Chair, are the most disrespectful person I have ever seen run a meeting. I yield.
Thank you. Your time's up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Andrea.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Oh, hi. Thank you, Chair, for having us today. I want to point out the obvious that you have to be 21 to order alcohol. You have to be 18 to vote. You have to be 18 to join the military. You have to be 18 to buy girly magazines, to go into a strip club. There's reasons that we have age cutoffs for things like that to separate a child from an adult. And I feel like it's absurd for us to even be considering offering this sort of care to children, just like we don't let them into bars to drink alcohol, or we don't let them to do other things. In addition, I think that the most obvious thing is Hawaii is struggling on so many financial levels, and to do something that's unnecessary for a fringe group of people that will usurp federal funding to our state is just unnecessary. We have to think of the thousands and thousands and thousands of other people that are going to lose their federal funding over a fringe group of people that, in my opinion, can wait till
Time's up. Next, thank you for that
Thank you, Andrew.
incredibly inaccurate information. Next.
Thank you, Andrew.
You can keep your personal comments to
Keep your personal
yourself.
comments. Do not. you don't have-
Madam Chair, you need to stop.
If there's anyone
Banner?
next.
Banner, you're next. You need to unmute yourself, Banner.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Banner Fanene, 15-year resident of the state of Hawaii, U.S. citizen by birth. I am opposed to any legislation, any executive order of any type, designating any place in the state of Hawaii as a sanctuary zone for these types of things. Thank you for your time. I yield. Mahalo.
Thank you. Next. Joe, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Again, my name is Joe Wilson, a community member, and on this issue, this agenda item of this commission advocating support for gender affirming care, I really want to echo and amplify the important things that Brad spoke about, which is the intention of this commission is for it to be seen by community members who may not be safe in their home, in their church, in their community, because of the kind of extremist voices that we're hearing. And they're unfortunately now being echoed and amplified by this commission. I'm just very disturbed that people who need to hear this commission see it, as Brad said, as a place of safety, support, and advocacy on behalf of human rights for people who have been marginalized far too long. It's a significant concern, the fact that extremist forces are sending people to purpose, misinform, misrepresent facts.
Time, thank you.
Huge problem.
Next.
Yes. Oh.
Yes.
I just have a few things to say, and I really want you to listen to these words because these words are very important. They put up barriers the same way with our bodies. Our bodies are meant for us to be very expressive. Either Hawaiians or non-Hawaiians were like that. To me, it was the expression of the mahele of our bodies, the restriction of our bodies, the control of our expression of our bodies. So we stop telling people not to be a certain way. You are exactly controlling them not to be that way. That is not the Hawaiian way. That is not what our kupuna or my kupuna taught us.
Time, thank you. Next.
Okay, the person with the phone number 4524. Going once.
Hello.
Please state your name.
My name is Naina Patel. And I oppose this because this stuff is only happening in America and a couple other countries. What about India? I'm from India. Nobody believes in this kind of surgeries is there. And you can see all of the people from my country, they're all successful, focusing on having family, making good, income. Not like this. This is important. How is it important? The kids don't want this. This is forced into them. This is all made up stuff to depopulate this country. So I don't even know how people believe this shit. This is the idea of just killing your population. Find me one person from my country that believes in this shit. Nobody does. This is just
incorrect information.
Of course.
Next.
Before we move on, I would like to point out, correct you, the India Supreme Court just ruled that trans women are women. You do not have the floor.
When did you hear that?
It was just put in the, it was in the news like a week ago.
It was an AP.
That the Supreme Court ruled that trans women are women, trans men are men. So you should double check into the country. If you don't, you can't speak for an entire country.
Court said that?
Yes.
The
Whatever the
Supreme
court
Court.
says, so Roe v. Wade, so.
You do not have the floor, you cannot speak.
Okay.
Next.
You only pick one key like that.
No, you do not have the floor.
Wallen, you're next.
Roe v. Wade.
Aloha, everyone. Can you folks hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the floor. I'm going to make it very short. I hear both sides. What I want to say is we should not be having any commissions or any committees trying to decide what is best for a child. That is up to the parents, not the government, not the governor, not anybody else. And for the record, I am involved in politics and testimony. But I believe, and I believe that most people do agree, it is the parents' duty to make that decision, not you folks on this commission and not any other committee, and definitely not Governor Green, because he does not think about the children. He thinks about politics and policies and what's going to be best for him. I yield.
Although it is our job to clear the way so parents and doctors can make the decision.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I didn't ask for your
You do not
opinion.
have the floor. Thank you. Next.
Cara.
Aloha mai kato. Thank you for the time to speak today. I do want to raise a concern that maybe both sides haven't thought about or haven't been introduced. I do respect the gentleman that spoke about wanting evidence. Aside from the gender affirming care being of a nature that we both agree should be after 18, as far as surgeries are concerned, there's an example, Joseph et al. In 2019, he found that adolescents on puberty blockers, they're showing a lot of early onset osteoporosis. And I just want to bring that up if there is an interest in knowing how this is physically harming. And this comes from actually a doctor that gave testimony on behalf of SB 1150 during the SB 1150 hearing. And I just wanted to put that out there. There's multiple others. I can email them to this commission just out of respect so you guys can see that even in 2023, after long-term hormone therapy, there were multiple different studies that came out, especially in boys. They never regained their normal bone strength at the spine.
There's lots of things that cause osteoporosis as well. Next, please.
That's it.
Is that it?
That's
All
it for,
right. Oh, yes, go right ahead.
Well, you're not a doctor.
Actually, I am. Go ahead.
You're a doctor of medicine for children, and you would speak against the studies that I just said?
Stop, Tara, please. Thank you. Yes.
Doctor like Dr.
You do
John
not
Green.
have the floor. Do
Well,
not.
you're speaking against the doctor that spoke on behalf of this.
Fake Dr. Josh Green.
Yes.
My name again is Jay Matt, and I am a third person who has unfortunately been subject to unsolicited verbal and physical fear of action. And can say with absolute conviction that the words that I'm hearing from this space today are similar or identical to the words that prefaced the physical violence directed at me that was unprovoked by me before, simply who it is that I am. And I'd just like to state that sad reality.
Thank you. Before we move on, I'd like to edit the public testimony.
Yeah, I segue to that.
Brad.
That's all right. Yeah. You only get one.
Can I do one?
No.
No, you only
You
get
only
one time.
Oh, give me 30 seconds.
No.
What are you
Okay,
afraid
I
of?
do As a commissioner, I do want to make sure that we clear the air here. For a minor to access gender affirming care in the state of Hawaii, you have to have parental consent. Please educate yourself. Please know that Google is not an accredited university. It is also important to remember that when trans kids tell us who they are, they're not making a rash or all indecision. It is them expressing their lived reality. In the same way other kids might say that they like soccer or dislike math. Most children have a sense of their gender identity by around age 3. For trans kids, that sense is simply different than what was assumed at birth. Supporting them doesn't mean rushing into medical interventions at an early age. In fact, the vast majority of care at a KT stage is societal. Things like using the name and pronouns that they feel right, or letting them dress in the way that reflects who they are. These steps are reversible, safe, and shown to dramatically improve the mental health outcomes for trans youth. As the gentleman earlier already pointed out, trans youth face mental health crisis because of the garbage that has been spewed here today. Dismissing what a child is telling us about them can cause harm, but affirming them helps them thrive. If you care about aloha, if you think that you have any aloha in you, you will embrace and care for trans kids and listen to them. Respecting trans kids' identities is simply about giving them the same dignity and support every child deserves while they grow into who they are. So, thank you.
Thank you,
If I
Michael.
may
Yes,
correct
Shanda.
some medical misinformation. As a healthcare provider, I have a different read on that article that you're quoting, Joseph et al. On puberty blockers. Puberty blockers don't cause osteoporosis. Puberty blockers do cause a decline for that article that you're citing. Do cause a decline in bone density that is immediately reversed when somebody begins cross-sex hormones or return to what their body was naturally doing. It's not osteoporosis, it is a change in bone density that is not unlike what happens to young women using Depo-Provera for contraception, and that is not detrimental to those young women.
Thank you, Shanda. All right, we've closed testimony for
Oh,
that.
Philip has something to say.
Oh, Philip, go right ahead.
Thank you. So this is the third meeting in a row where we've had people come and address this issue. I just wanted to clarify a little bit. Well, first of all, I want to point out, I resent being called you people. I also resent being called the fringe. We are human beings and we have every right to exist exactly as we are, just as much as anybody else. So those comments are insulting and they're not helpful. Let me help a little bit. So the commission, we have no power to do anything. So all the people that are, telling us not to vote for or not to pass, we are not voting for nor passing anything. Our mission is to make recommendations and advise the governor and the legislature. So stop. You're not voting by coming. The other thing is that we have made our appeal to the governor for this to make Hawaii a sanctuary state. I think it was December, maybe November. Somebody could correct me. It's been a long time. We're not going to change our minds. So you can come to our meetings and sabotage our work and drag things out and carry on and call us names. We are not changing our position. So I don't know whether the governor hears your testimony or reads the minutes from this meeting. I doubt it. So you would serve your own lack of compassion and your intentions by calling the governor or calling your legislators. But coming and yelling at us and calling us names. One meeting we were called pedophiles. We've been told we're going to hell.
You are not a commissioner. Please stop and
You
stop
guys said you guys coming after our children, right? Didn't you guys say that
Please
in the
stop.
videos?
You need to stop.
Are they
We're gonna have
LGBT?
security remove you. Don't stop. You're being disruptive. You're being rude. You're being hostile. We do not want violence in this meeting.
violence.
Can you not
Well,
be
you're not rude to
violent?
everybody? Aren't
Can you not be violent?
Time.
Can you not be violent?
That's what you do.
Can you not be violent?
Violent.
Can you not be violent? Please answer my question.
Why you violent to the children?
Can you please stop being
Violent
violent?
to the children?
So you're gonna be violent towards me?
No, but you violent to the children, being here.
You need to stop.
You're not violence.
You need to stop.
Just come say.
You
something
need
that's violent.
to stop.
You're.
You need to stop.
I'm sorry, but you're.
There you
go. Stop. It's not violent.
Philip. Continue after me.
So, thank you. So, yeah, and even a couple times it's been mentioned, there should not be a commission. You know what? There is, and we're here, and we're not going away. And if you don't like the fact that there's a commission or don't like what our work is and what we see as valuable, please tell the governor. Please exercise your rights but telling us you don't like us isn't going to make us go away. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Sorry about that. Okay, next. Any other commissioners or ex-officios want to say anything? All right, making sure. Yes, go ahead, Cameron.
I just want to thank Commissioners Shanda and Michael for making very important statements at the end of this to clarify facts that are important for all of our communities to know. You don't have the floor, please be quiet.
Yes. I need to be quiet. We're not supposed to be talking to anyone else. Please be no.
So thank you. And for doing really well in a contentious situation, and we just want to applaud your professionalism and ability to put the information out there.
All right, next is update on letter to Maui Preparatory Academy donors. Sorry, this font is really tiny here.
RA Maui Props anti-LGBTQ policies.
Yes, thank you.
If you notice in the board packet, you will have seen the lawsuits have been filed by the ACLU as well as an employment attorney. I didn't move anything else forward for this meeting because of those actions that were taken. There will be something for us to discuss and vote on at our October meeting. I hope I'm speaking on behalf of all the commissioners, is that we are extremely happy to see the ACLU and the employment attorney take these actions to our KP as we move forward.
Thank you, Michael. Any public testimony on the letter? Yes.
No testimony, just for clarity's sake, I'd like to know what the charges were against this Maui school.
They're in the news articles. Oh, sorry.
All right, any public testimony? All right. Next is update on queer community leaders meeting and community calendar, and that is Shanda and Camaron. It's coming up in October.
Yes, we have it scheduled on 3 possible dates, October 2021 or 22. It'll be at the University of Hawaii. Just want to confirm that President Hensel will be there, and she looks forward to welcoming commissioners and having a open talk story.
All right, any public testimony?
Just so everybody, also in the board packet, you'll see that the community calendar is up and running up by the Legacy Foundation and the portal is available. So I encourage everybody to put your LGBTQIA supportive events on that calendar. They will be reviewed by their vendor before they're posted. So it is not just an automatic submission.
All right. Next is update on addressing the needs of our communities, Puna, especially Mahu, trans, non-binary, and intersex. Discuss and vote, posting a list on the care homes, and have completed the self-attestation on our website as a resource.
Okay,
So
so a couple of updates. Shall I update further first, or shall we start with the?
Yeah, you can do the update and then we can do it.
Okay, so our committee, the committee committee is meeting the last Mondays of the month at noon. People are welcome to join us, and we're gonna be having our first Sage Table meal on September 27th, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. This is seeking intergenerational connections to reduce isolation for people that are Kapuna all the way down to younger folks. We have a Google Doc for signups also, and sweetly, the Aloha Bears agreed to provide Care Bears services so that hopefully we will feel safe at the event, and we're gonna start doing this regularly. There is also the 5M framework projects. I believe I saw the researcher in the background up there that has been funded. Mind, mobility, medication, multi-complexity matters most. This is research and support to Kapuna, focusing especially on trans and gender diverse folks, data collection, and workforce education. So that's a really exciting thing that's happening in our community to support our Kapuna. We are still promoting the personal directions form. That is something that people can state. These are my wishes at end of life, including my pronouns, my name, what is important to me. So we have that. And then the care home self-attestation, we as a commission had voted last month, I think, to support it. And what I would like to, and to host it, what I would like to do is for us to include a list of folks that have completed it and have said, we are LGBT friendly care home. And that way people can look there on our website to see who is completing the self-attestation form. So that is what I am presenting for discussion.
All right, opening up for discussion amongst the commissioners.
I'm gonna ask the same question I asked last month. Who's going to design who's gonna maintain the list? Keep it updated. Things to discuss.
I will maintain the list. And the SGM group, the curriculum committee had said that they will update it. So I believe that, we were discussing making it a Google Doc so that it can be fluid, and we just keep that Google Doc linked to on the website. Any other discussion points?
So are you asking us to host it all, put it in our Google folder and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna treat it like we do, you're looking to treat it like we do our research guide.
Think so?
Okay.
Unless you guys think it would be better served on the actual web page. Open to discussion.
No, like we do the research guide, it's a link there for people to submit their businesses, not the business, sorry, organizations. And then there's also a link to review the resource guide that Philip oversees. So okay. So we'll just create a new folder for that. So if this motion is made and it passes, what I'm going to need from you is the language which would like to be placed on the website. And then we'll create a new section under the resource guide. The resources or something like that, just add that to the resource guide. Or whatever we want to call it. So just give me the verbiage, should this motion be made and passed, just so you're. Yeah. And then if you already have the form ready to go.
I think I submitted that last month, so you might already have it somewhere, but I'm excited to do so.
Just, yeah, send it to my email directly.
So I make a motion that we begin hosting this list with verbiage.
Got a second? Rick seconded. All right, do we have any abstentions?
Any further discussion?
Oh, you got
You should always, where Robert's rules, usually you have a motion, then discussion.
Discussion amongst us again.
You can
Okay,
discussion.
sorry,
In case-
commissioners.
In case the motion is changed from the discussion.
Has it changed? No discussion points? None? All right.
Just checking if you asked for public testimony before you vote.
Yeah. And now you asked for that.
Thank you, Laura. Sorry, I keep forgetting this is out of order on here. Okay, public testimony.
Seeing none,
Is this in regards to the retirement home community fee?
Yes.
Okay, I do want to say something about
Oh,
this.
go right ahead.
I think this is an incredible thing that we are doing. This is something that's needed across the country. There's a huge lack of attention to late life care, specifically for LGBTQ people. I, for one, will not go into a home where there are random hetero people like other people that were here today that are aggressive and mean. And I'm gonna be old and frail and not be able to defend myself, less so than I can now. So I really appreciate the focus on this. And I think that we should have a retirement home that is just specifically for queer people, and no hetero people should be allowed at all, like completely, because they're all evil. Right, thank you. Sorry.
Not all are evil.
From what I can tell, they mostly are.
I will take exception to that because my parents are very wonderful people.
That is true. You're very nice.
Here.
My mom, yes.
All right, any other public testimony? No, all right, so we're gonna move to voting, okay? And do we have any abstentions? All right, how many nays do we have? All right, everybody. Who is in favor?
You can just say by acclamation.
All right, by acclamation, we are moving as a full board voting on this, or commission, sorry. Good job, commissioners. All right, next is update on commission's 2025 participation. First is Kona. Who wants to give that update?
I guess I will. Since Rocco's busy, we have 3 commissioners that are going from Oahu, myself, Kat, and Shanda. We will have, Rocco's gonna have the tent and table for us. I will be bringing, for those of you who can't see it online, we have the new signs that came in. There's 3 different artwork. We'll have new stickers, and I will be bringing that all with me when I fly over on Saturday. Rocco, do you have anything?
Nope, not really. We're ready to go. If anybody needs anything additional printed or picked up, or if you have any needs, just let me know in advance, please. Otherwise, I'll have the tent set up in the morning.
What time should we rep?
Well, setup is between 9 and noon, but I think with our basic setup for our table, I would recommend just coming around 11:30 or noon or something. It doesn't take us too long to get our stuff set up, and it will probably be a hot day, so no need to do any unnecessary setting up or standing around.
All right, any other updates for Kona? All right, Honolulu is next. Who'd like to give that update?
I guess I'll do that since I'm the lead. Okay, so Rocco, Joe, and Philip, you need to, if you have not already done so, please send Devin if you're planning on traveling over. Reminder, this is a fly in and fly out situation since we agreed as a commission not to do a booth. We're only doing the thing. If you wish to stay, you can spend the night, but that's on your own dime. Well, we're working out the rental car. Rocco, did you want to take responsibility for that? Since I already heard from Philip and Joe, they do not.
If you could give me until next week and I can confirm whether or not I'll be attending.
Okay.
I just need to get through this pride to make sure all my ducks are in a row to take off for the one over there. But otherwise, I'm open to doing that. I'm assuming it would just be return the same day kind of a thing, right? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, if I can confirm that I'm coming, I'm happy to take that on.
Okay.
I can pick up Joe and Philip at the airport. Otherwise, happy to do it. I was just gonna rent a car like I did last time, so we'd have a convertible because I think that can't be reimbursed otherwise. So I was just gonna do that again.
Once we get the thing, Devin's trying to see if we can get the convertible, so you don't have to pay for that out of pocket.
I've already made arrangements with Devin about my arriving and departure. I won't need any kind of transportation down there. But the upcoming Kona, I won't be there because I got invited to San Francisco to represent myself at the big event called GAPA, Gay Asian Pacific Alliance, that I helped to start in the late 1980s. It's a huge, big event there for the Asians and everybody else involved with the community there. So I'm going to be one of the head judges for this coming weekend. I leave Friday and get back Sunday. So I'm not going to be in Kona, which I had planned on originally going until this came up.
Just a reminder that we need everybody at Magic Island by 2:30. Magic Island does shut down at 3. Traffic does pick up in that area, as you all saw last year. For those of you that are interested, earlier in the day, Indivisible is having it's part of a national protest. They, instead of no kings, they're doing no dictators. It's going to be from 11 to 1 at the state capitol for those of you that are interested. And yeah, so, and it gives you plenty of time after it's over to head over to Magic Island. And so, yeah, so the plan is just to do the parade and then we're done by 6:30.
All right, any more updates from Honolulu? Excellent, moving to public testimony for Pride. Any public testimony? That's all right. Next, we have update on collecting hate crimes data discussion.
Table until next month.
Okay, we're gonna table that. Next is update on Hawaii Department of Education actions taken to be taken. Actions taken or to be taken in response to the required certification and all university equity and inclusion practices to receive federal funding.
Beth, any update for us? Are you still there?
Okay, any other public testimony? All right, next is 2026 legislative priorities.
Hopefully everybody looked at the board packets.
Yes.
It has everything that was in there that did not pass this last legislative session, with the reminder that we are going to, the LRB is not going to be doing anything when it comes to, so. Those are what you have listed in the board packet are the things that we have not already voted on or discussed. We're looking at our 2026 legislative priorities. We can make something a priority, but if nobody steps up to make it a lead, it's just gonna sit there until somebody steps up.
I would volunteer for the gender marker birth certificate number 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue working on hate crimes.
Okay.
Any other commissioners know what they're going to be working on? Now, like you heard from Par, now is a good time to start with that. You can go ahead and it'll be easier to get the legislators here and find out what they're doing, what you need to do in order to get your bill passed and through the legislature.
I've already have the gender affirming care. I'm willing to take on expansion of the commission. As well as it's attachment 2.
Okay. Out there. Page 8.
So
I can continue to work on the resolution to establish an education requirement for teaching history with Joe and Dean.
I'm gonna say, well, I would love to see it actually happen. Number 2, mandating private funded health insurance coverage, policy offered to cover all gender affirming care procedures. That is a huge lift and it will not probably go anywhere. So I do not. Well, I think we should make it a priority. I just don't think there's been any movement on that because of our ERISA exemption. For those of you who don't know, we have an ERISA exemption in the state of Hawaii because we have a prepaid healthcare act. So the late Senator Daniel Kaua got us that since it does more than the Affordable Care Act does. And so we got exemptions from that. Unfortunately, we did not move quickly when the legislature was in the hands of like-minded individuals at the federal level. So the concern is that any additional required coverage would actually violate the ERISA exception, which I don't necessarily agree with, but greater minds than mine think so. So more, they killed things that were, they killed other things when it comes to expanding mandates to health insurance policies. So. And the forced gender mutilation. You'd think this be right up some of our opposition's alley to stop. And we actually don't want the actual mutilation, and they don't even pick up on that. So it's really sad that they claim to care about kids, but don't care about our intersex kids actually. So
I'll work on that one as well.
okay. Since nobody else submitted anything else, these are what we have for right now, with the understanding that we will probably be seeing other things introduced that are on our agenda, are on our radar. So. Anybody have any other discussions on this stuff?
Any other bills that you know are going through that you want to work on, anything like that? I would ask that if you can, by next meeting, which is October 6th, by the way, that you have some idea of which ones you'd like to work on so that we can go ahead and make sure that those are down, so that we can help you, give you any kind of support you may need, point you in the direction you need, things like that.
So with those bills that were already met, those areas that were already mentioned, I move we make those priorities with the commissioners that said they do those areas as the leads. Can I get a second?
We have a second? Sorry.
Anything anybody automatically already volunteered to do will become a priority for the commission with that person as the lead.
So the things that y'all did last year that maybe didn't get passed, it's going to be for this year, we continue to be.
No, I'm saying what anybody just said today at this meeting.
Oh, today.
We are not, so with those things that people volunteered here today, may become priorities for this commission. And those people become the leads.
Okay.
So, for expanding gender markers will be Shanda. Mandating height cramps will be, you, Sandy. Expanding the commission will be me. And I already have, the gender from care, force. Which one?
The forced gender.
Oh, okay, so.
Or second.
So 5 will be you. I'll keep 6, because resolutions, those are later in the session. Because we definitely do need a complete review of the HRSS. Because language matters, so I'll take that on. Again, and Pat is gonna do the resolution on working on education requirements. The only thing left from our list last time is mental health care access. So right now that's not on the list.
Rick, weren't you doing that last year? If you're not interested in continuing that, I'll do it.
No, I didn't do that one. I did not do that one. I don't know that I have some issues with that one. I believe that the goal is laudable. We do need mental health care, but I don't think that that particular bit of legislation will address that goal. The problem is the lack of providers, not that the providers are refusing to see LGBTQ patients. There just aren't that many. What we're finding is that people aren't willing to accept Medicaid anymore, and other insurances. And just on the neighbor islands, we just don't have a lot of providers that are willing to work there. So the idea would be to do some other kinds of maybe address this a different way to try to increase the numbers of providers that are available. Versus, I don't think that I can tell you that as a mental health provider and somebody who's worked in the field for the last 30 years, we never saw people who said that they didn't know what LGBTQ people are, with the possible exception of trans clients present difficulties that might be something that people have special training in, or that it's relatively new. But otherwise, my feeling is that we need to think of ways to either reimburse or include a larger pool of providers. Versus, this law was just looking at making training mandatory in continuing education, which is done for most only every couple years.
I will, a rebuttal to that is, well, when we were in Hilo, the people that brought this to my attention years ago are still having the same problem, that mental health professionals, oh, I don't deal with queer issues, so money is also another part of reimbursements and whatnot, being reimbursed and access, but that still is a barrier, especially for our neighbor island people, that having access to mental health care professionals. Because
Well, Michael, if I could respond, I do think I agree that we're people who maybe prefer not to assist our population, but it wasn't because they didn't know what the issues were. The issues are the same issues that affect everybody else. But one of the things that we're looking at, my suggestion, of course, is we're looking at addressing more video or telehealth options. Again, there just aren't that many, especially a place like Hilo. Hilo has a remarkably small number of prescribers. Currently, we're actually using prescribers from North Carolina. The biggest mental health prescriber for Medicaid, for Hawaii Medicaid, is in North Carolina, APRN. So anyway, that's one of the things I think I think it's a very important goal. I just don't think this law is going to address it.
Well, the commissioners do have an opportunity to be able to speak to the legislators about expanding that. So is anyone interested in taking that on?
Oh, I would be willing to take on speaking to the legislators, just not about the continuing education requirement.
Making sure that, okay, so, you'll take lead on working on that one.
Okay, yeah.
Working
Sure
with the
will.
legislators to explain to them those types of needs. All right, thank you, Rick. All right, let's see. Well, we need to get public testimony. Public testimony on the 2026 legislative priorities.
Tara.
Hello, my kako, Tara Malia Gregory. I really like what was talked about just in this last part. I just had some questions. I believe that mental health and getting these children mental health help is very, very important. I have a background in neuroscience and child development, and I would love to know, are you going to update the website on how we can target in on that specifically and help with funding on that end? And are these concerns going to be on the website, or is this something that is just going to be published just from meeting to meeting?
Thank you, Tara. Rick, would you like to respond?
Yes. Again, what we're talking about now is saying that this is definitely a goal. And the process that we're using is we're hoping to work with the legislature and other stakeholders on trying to address this important issue. You're quite correct. It is a big need children's mental health there's a gap there. LGBTQ mental health, there's a gap there. General mental health for people who are underinsured, there's a gap there. So all of those things, you're right. And we do follow up on this. Right now, there's a lot of things that we try to work on, and we do address that. We try to update them at these meetings, and we also keep a resource list that will be available for you to check out. And it'll be connected through, I think it's on our Facebook page. I'll find out.
Okay, I'll check in on that. Just to let you know, that is a concern that was raised when I had these conversations with just constituents out here, is they're just really concerned with getting just mental health resources across the board, but specifically they said for LGBTQ IA plus children, that was brought up quite frequently. So I wanted to maybe connect them with you guys so that whoever's in charge of that, I guess that would be you, Rick, so you can confer with them so that maybe there can be some move forward with that. I think one of the things was exactly what you just said. She was just raising concerns about, oh, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with you. Thanks, Rick.
Karen. Okay, we've got two things to vote on. Oh, sorry, is that all for public testimony? I don't want to move on before everybody's had a chance. All right, good. All right, we've got two things to vote on here. One, we're gonna be voting on our priorities. Two, we're gonna be voting on leads for each of the priorities, ones that we just went over. We were doing this, right? Okay.
I think they're already listed.
Okay, great. So we're gonna vote on these as a group, not individually. So, everyone, let's see, do I have a motion?
I already gave you a
Yeah,
motion.
that's what I thought. And second, okay, we've already done that part. Oh, I got lost in the conversation. Okay, do we have any abstentions? Do we have any nays? All right, looks like it's passed with acclamation with full commission support for the priorities. Okay, for the leads, and if y'all don't mind, I'd like to do this in a group, so I'm gonna name them out and we can just vote on them as a group. So number one is going to be Shanda. We have number two for health insurance?
No.
No. All right, so we don't have any number two yet, so if the commissioner decides that you want to come on with that, let us know. You have until October 6th to get that taken care of. All right, next, number three is Sandy, number four is Michael, number five is Sandy, number six is Michael, number seven is Pat, and number eight is Rick. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second? Second. Do you have any abstentions? Joe, was that an abstention? No, okay. Do you have any nays? All right, we pass it by acclamation with full support from the commission. Thank you.
For the minutes, Philip Rocco left a little while ago, so he's not on the last 2 minutes.
Okay. All right, next is update from Hawaii Coalition for Civil Rights. Update? No, we voted last time.
I thought you were keeping that. No, this is the Hawaii Coalition for Civil Rights, not the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission. Rick, did you go to the Hawaii Coalition for Civil Rights meeting this last week?
I did not. I just now found their Facebook page and sent them a message asking to, but they don't have, it's open. It's not a members group. So I just messaged them for the first time this week.
Okay.
Okay, well, I can give an unofficial update. Okay, so this is unofficial because I've just been going to the meetings, but they are mobilizing and working on making sure that locals are protected from immigration raids and ensuring that groups of people are not targeted. There is a high alert amongst the group because of the things that are happening and the possibility of having many parts of our population, because Hawaii is nothing if it's not a melting pot. Asians, Hispanics, whites, I mean, everyone lives here. And so we have large groups of people who quite possibly could be targeted. So they're up in arms about that and making sure that we're able to. All right, let's see, any public testimony on the Hawaii Coalition for Civil Rights? Nope, all right. Next is, oh, yeah, so we're gonna move this because we still don't have any updates from the state archives, the level coverage.
And I'm gonna move that we table number M because we need to work on that and, so yeah, but
okay.
I do want to state for the record that this is the body. There's any entity in this state that our trans community should be able to trust, to be able to turn to support them. It's this body. We're the only state entity out there that they should be able to trust. And that is, and that we should be able to make strong statements in support of their access. And so that we need to work on that needs to be work on the description of the agenda item and for next month.
All right, so we're gonna table that.
And
I was gonna say, I was just about to say, we have a letter from Shanda. Would you like to speak?
I would love to be. On that, I did include a statement in the board packet with my concerns, and I had included it last time also, but it was late, so. But I have heard from several community members, including providers who work in gender affirming care, expressing a lot of concern about the verbiage in particular, the tone of the proposed statement / letter. It's not helpful and will likely alienate potential supporters. That we as a commission should work to retain credibility with the larger community by avoiding extremist verbiage of our own. By targeting organizations, this is another concern that was brought to me that I thought was really interesting.
Oh, what did I just ask that we table this till next month?
No, I would like not to, because you have something to say, and I would like to say my part also. That by targeting specific organizations, we may actually be putting a target on the people that are not. Like if we say A, B, and C are letting us down, then does that mean that we, E and F, are supporting gender affirming care and thus are also gonna get a target, which I thought was kind of interesting. And thus bringing additional visibility to organizations that are quietly continuing to do this work would harm us. We could say all of this, but if they're actually providing the care and supporting our gender stance and pinky, I don't think we should interfere with that. And I have an appointment with the Hawaii Primary Care Association and the Healthcare Association of Hawaii on October 6th to collaborate and find strategies so that healthcare organizations do not continue to feel abandoned by us. They don't want to feel targeted by us as a commission. They want to feel like our partners and not that they're being excoriated for doing what they got to do. So we will discuss this more next time, certainly, but I wanted to share all of that and let you guys know that I have an appointment on the 6th to speak with a larger organization that directs lots of care in the state.
Thank you, Shanda. All right, next is, I believe, new business. Okay, we've got establishing the commission stance on mail-in voting. I'm sure all of you have seen the election commission is working to restrict voting in Hawaii by preventing people from using mail-in voting. So we need to talk about that. Anyone want to discuss the commission stance on that?
When we went to all mail-in voting, it was one of the things that was brought up during the whole debate was the fact, giving access to, especially to our community. A lot of members of our community, even though supposedly you have time off of work, becomes unpaid time off of work. And if you're working 3 different jobs, you don't get time off because they're like, oh, you're not working here the rest of that day. So mail-in voting has become an extremely important part of gaining access to voting. And that is one of our things that is in part of our statute is that we are supposed to encourage our community to vote. The commission, the elections commission is in the middle of a hostile takeover by the irrational right of trying. They've already made it the stance that when Scott Nago, who's the executive director there, goes to testify before the legislature that he has to say that the commission does not support mail-in voting. This is an equity issue. It's a civil rights issue, ensuring that everybody has access to vote. And it's quite clear by the people going to those meetings have no idea what they're talking about. They have not done their research and they're taking, again, Google is not a accredited university, nor is it should be used as a research tool solely without actually having real world experience. So I brought this to the commission because of that, because I see it as a equity issue for our community. Because I heard from trans and gender non-conforming people that didn't want to be misgendered when they went to go, if you go register to vote, they haven't changed their gender markers on their state IDs. So and to giving that side eye and whatnot. So, yeah, that's the reason I brought this. And so I'm gonna make the motion that we establish our stances that this commission supports mail-in voting.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. Any movement to restrict voting rights will only lead to an avalanche of everyone losing their voting rights, and we cannot have that. So I'm in favor of making sure that we support this.
Is that a second?
Oh, yes, I make a second. Do any of the, other commissioners have anything to say about this?
I would just like to, thank you, excellent point and idea, and I fully support it, and I would also like to express what has been brought to me, is that people are afraid of, I've talked to a lot of trans people that are afraid to go to government buildings and to show themselves in the civil process, and they're worried of what might happen, and if their vote won't be counted, or their they will be harmed in some way. So this is a perfect solution.
Any other commissioners? Ex-Officio members, anything? All right, we're
Public?
yes. All right, public testimony on mail-in, yes.
Yes, and, speaking as a member of the public who, has been witnessing what's taking place in this room and echoing the sentiments of some commissioners, I think it's extremely important that the commission support this effort. The kinds of comments that have been brought to the table today, in fact, concerns about ICE presence in our communities present serious threats to people that we need to be very concerned about. The rhetorical, and I feel as a community member, threats of physical violence by the extremism that has been brought into this space needs to be addressed. And I think supporting access, public safety, and participation in government, whether it's at polls or in these meetings, is extremely important. So thank you for supporting this as a commission.
Thank you, Jan.
Oh, and now that we're on public testimony, but can I ask another question? Is there more we can do than a statement? Like, who would I talk to which one for this?
I'll get on their mailing list, like we have our mailing list, so you know when their meetings are and you can go testify. Cause like we've been deluged by ignorance, they've been deluged by ignorance to the point, and so. Like we had to go through confirmation, they did not. None of the commissioners, they just automatically appointed. So, and they just get appointed and they are.
Public testimony?
Yeah. I object to you seeing that with ignorance. Object to this and that with misinformation.
I didn't say anything about misinformation.
Those words.
They're what?
Labeling.
As opposed to what you were doing?
You weren't labeling. I don't think that it was except when you were in. I mean, but I just did it because you did it. Sure, the power.
All right, is that it?
Well, I just think that if you're saying that this is a safe space, I don't think it's a safe space. It's not safe for everybody. It's only safe for the people that think you're right. And what you're saying is that there's a risk being inclusive, but you're not.
I'm sorry, I can't be inclusive for someone who wants to take my right of reference, so no.
Okay, time.
Time. All right.
Cara, did you have anything to comment on the position of the commission?
Yes, just really brief. I just wanted to give testimony. I just would like to encourage more people from this commission to get on the elections commission. I'm not sure exactly who does get on, but I hear what you're saying, and I think that there's something that can be made of what you're saying, that we can have specific languaging instead of just being all or nothing. But the issue really is just getting on and listening to the pigs that were formed with the chain of custody. That's the main thing, is 19,000 discrepancy, 600. And I don't believe that people should be disenfranchised because of that lack of ability to do what is right in Pono for the people that assume that their votes do count. So my encouragement would just to be, I'm not saying people aren't getting on, but I'm on those all the time. And I talked to Ralph Kushney, and he's been the forefront of that. And I would hate for this to be seen as a right or a left thing, but just a Pono thing for everybody to be heard so that everyone's vote does count and does matter. So I just wanted to state that for this specific commission.
Thank you, Tara. All right, any other public testimony? No. All right. We've got 2 votes to do. We've got a vote to establish a stance and vote to approve statement supporting mail-in voting. All right, I believe there was a
Motion made by me, seconded by you.
Yes.
Stand to be supported.
yes. Yeah, all right. So any no votes on establishing a stance? Any abstentions? Okay, that's passed and support from the commission. Sans Rocco. Now, vote to approve statement supporting mail-in voting.
If you look into the board packet, attachment number 7, the draft statement is there. Talking about the economic justice, expanding access, enhancing civil participation, preserving Hawaii's leadership, isn't it inclusive elections? And there's a call to action for anybody to take up, to give everybody an opportunity to be part of the process to support this effort. So my move is to adopt this position, statement as drafted, as circulated.
Second. All right. Do I have any abstentions?
Any others?
Oh, wait, we already did public testimony. Do y'all want to discuss this now, amongst the commissioners and ex-officios?
Thank you, so.
Okay. All right, so we'll do to public testimony after the discussion. So any discussion from the commissioners? No? All right, public testimony. None, all right. So let's take a vote. Any abstentions? Any noes? All right, it's passed with full support from the commission, Sans Rocco. All right, next is future meeting topics and speakers. Discussion on inviting government and non-government organization liaisons, public testimony, please. Is it?
We still gotta just go through the performer of the rest of this. Any public testimony on that? Seeing none.
All right, adjournment. Let's have a discussion on adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any public testimony?
Seeing.
All right, any nays on vote, adjourning? Any abstentions?
Oh, we lost Kat on that one, so it's unanimous.
Okay,
Yeah.
United Sands, Rocco and Kat.
Yep.
All right, y'all have a great week. Thank you.